Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode. Today I have a special guest. Her name is Lulu Dagher, but she's also known by the name Lulu. She currently lives in Springwater, Ontario, and she passionately believes that beauty is subjective and that art in all of its forms is visually beautiful and has profound meaning. As a fourth year honor student aspiring to create content for the media industry, she has learned exceptional skills from the Media and Communication Studies program at the University of Guelph-Humber, specializing in visual communications. She is proficient with Capture One and Adobe software such as Photoshop, Illustrator, and Premiere Pro. She prefers to specialize in visual communications so that she can apply her creative imaginations to any projects she faces. Throughout her academic years, she strives to put in her best effort in all of her work. In many of her projects, she aims to exhibit a form of art. She also likes to incorporate her own interests in most projects as well. As a result, several of her work pieces have significant meaning embedded in them. She is motivated to be willing to learn and to always offer the best performance in her work by constantly challenging herself to improve her skills. And now, Miss Lulu Dagher joins me live. How are you doing, Lulu?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, good. So I can first off say, why did you pursue a media and communication studies degree?
I want to say I always kind of had an interest in video editing.
Right.
So I was trying to find a course where I could put all the stuff that I already know and get a degree out of it. To be
Mm-hmm.
honest, I really didn't know what I wanted to get into when I was getting into university, and I just kind of looked around, and that was the one that piqued my interest. So
So you really didn't know what to do before university, and when you got in, you started to, video editing was like your interest.
Yeah, I had no idea. And I did not know that you could do video editing, like so many things in one program
Mm-hmm.
at university. I didn't realize that. I don't think we learned too much about it in high school. So
Right.
you usually learn more like in high school, like, oh, you need a degree to become a doctor or whatever. Like I didn't know anything about it. So I found
I
something
see.
I liked and went with it.
It's good. Well, that kind of ties into my next question. So, like, why did you choose Guelph Humber to be your institution in comparison to the other ones we have here in Toronto?
So I actually did a lot of the orientation days for all the different universities, and I applied to four programs. And the
Right.
reason why I chose Guelph-Humber was because A, it's a small environment, and I like that. It was almost like a high school setting, but for university.
Right.
And it's very hands-on.
Mm-hmm.
So the one thing that excited me was when we walked in and then the green screen room.
Mm-hmm.
You have like a TV setup, and how many schools have that? You have all three cameras on pedestals and like literally a live TV broadcasting room.
Right.
So I thought that was pretty cool. And also, I don't know if it's the only program, but from my understanding, it's one of the only programs that include every aspect of media. Like you could learn journalism, you can learn graphic design, videography, photography in one program.
Right.
When I went to U of T, it was like journalism and then graphic design. And then even at York, it's like all split. You learn one thing and specialize in that thing. But
I
for
see.
us, it's learn different multiple things and
Mm-hmm.
we just become good at all.
Yeah, I totally agree. Like everything's just combined into this one whole program. It's not separate where like you said, U of T has probably just one program for graphic design, one program for journalism. But this program at Guelph Humber is very special because it has every single discipline of media gelled into one thing and you can get it in 4 years. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So how do you like living in residence on campus at Guelph Humber?
So I lived in residence for 3 years.
Right.
Um, First year in a single room, and then the other 2 years in a suite. I liked it. I enjoyed it. It was fun, especially when you have a fun roommates and everything. You
Hmm.
guys can eat dinner with each other. And like it's cute, it's nice. The best part is you go to class and then come right back and you can take a nap. Or in
That's
between
pretty good.
classes, you can take a nap and then go on with your day, especially when we were busy. You remember that?
Yeah, yeah,
I would just, I'll be back, and then I would sleep and come back to
yeah,
class.
yeah. That no, that's great. Like, did you like how like was it like safe? Was it like spacious? Was it like clean? Did you like it?
It was definitely safe, I would say, because each entrance had, you're only allowed to go in through those two entrances, no
Right,
matter, despite the amount of safety exits and everything.
right.
You have to go through there, and you have to go through a person at the front, and they'll ask you to sign in any guests or anything. You have to give all their information, everything.
Mm-hmm,
So
hmm.
it's a long process to like bring people in. So
Right.
I would assume it's safe. I hope that it was safe. I mean, I'm not there anymore, but
Oh, you're not on residence anymore.
no, not anymore.
Oh,
I didn't need to. I'm only at school for 2 days during the week, so I can commute. It's okay.
that's fine. Well, this is your last semester anyway, so you're done. You're almost done.
Oh yeah. And like also the beauty about bringing your own car and everything, you just have the freedom to take off and go somewhere, run errands if
Yeah,
you have to do something quickly.
yeah, that's
I didn't
good.
have a car in residence, so
Hmm. So now that I can say, like, why did you choose the visual communication stream instead of the other ones we had at our disposal, like digital marketing and social media or media management and analytics or even journalism? Why did visual communication stream apply to you the most?
I knew what I wanted to do before specializing. I'm like, I want to do um videography, like hands-on stuff.
Right.
And the visual communication stream focused more on tech stuff and hands-on and cameras, video cameras.
Hmm.
And even in graphic design, we're learning like pen and paper concepts, how we can sketch out our designs and then implement it into Photoshop, trace it, and then we can use those designs that we did with our hands. And
Right.
I I like working with my hands better. I can I think I work well with I feel like people have two different skill traits, whether you're more book smart, academically smart, and like
Right.
whatever. For me, I'm good with technology.
Right. No, so like it was very hands-on for you. That's kind of what intrigued you.
Yes, very
Okay.
much.
I see. I see. So now that you've been in that stream and you're almost come to your destination as a student, how has your overall experience been like as a student at the University of Guelph-Humber's Media Communication Studies program?
Like I said earlier, it's nice because it's almost like a high school setting. So our classes with my specialization in visual communication, it's 20 people.
Right.
So you're kind of forced to make friends. You have to work with these people and whatever, but naturally you just become friends with them, and it's nice. I guess that was the best experience. You get to become so close to everyone, even the professors, because the classes are so small.
Right.
Like my biggest class was 40 people. It
Right.
was just so easy to connect with everyone, and then it it made your experience, or my experience, sorry, better because
Right.
I was close to everyone.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's a very close-knit community. Before I
Mhm.
even applied to Guelph-Humber, they had that in the brochure. It's a very close-knit community. That's kind of what drew my interest. I'm like, well, since it's close, you can get to connect with your professors because I know my friends who are in like Western University or U of T, they have big classes and they don't even know who their professors are. Like they don't get that one-on-one connection with them. So I like that about Guelph-Humber, and I'm sure you did as well.
Mhm.
So did Guelph-Humber help land your internship? Because in our program, we have to do a 240-hour internship. Did they help you land that, or was that something you had to do by yourself?
They provide options for you to apply to.
Right,
It's through GH Works, and then you can just go on and see whichever you like. But personally, I cold emailed all my internship placements, and
right,
I got two um two people to agree to it. So I just got to kind of decide where I wanted to go. But I feel like you can do it yourself. You don't have to go through the Guelph Humber, but they do provide it.
I see. And can you tell people, because people don't know what GH Works is?
GH Works is a site where we have to implement all our internship hours. Um, you would get an internship through a, I guess, supervisor for the internship,
Right.
and that is where you place all the documents that they would be signing. So you could
Okay.
put everything in there. But they also have job placements and internship placements that are running through the school that the students could apply to.
Okay.
So it gives students an opportunity to see what they would like or
Hmm.
like anything like that. Because anybody can do an internship. You don't, it's not just because it's mandatory for school. Like if you wanted to do an internship right now, you can do it if you wanted to. So it's there for everyone.
I see. And by the way, like for those of you who don't know, like if you're a University of Guelph-Humber student, in your emails, you'll get emails from GH Works. Like there's this career kind of like services that emails you, and they put like GH Works like listings, job listings. So if you're a University of Guelph-Humber student, no matter what program you're in, you'll see those emails. So keep an eye out for it. And also like since you like the whole experience of Guelph-Humber and being it very close in a community and all, what has been your favorite course or courses or projects you have worked on in the institution?
I don't think I have a specific favorite course. Like
Right,
I had fun with all of them. It was
right.
cool. But I think the one that was the most memorable
Hmm.
was an elective, surprising, but it was photojournalism.
Oh,
And
photojournalism. I remember that.
yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, it was fun. It was fun because
A lot of
we
fun with
had all
Geo.
the knowledge. We had all the knowledge of a photographer
Right.
and we got to learn a different side of photography
Hmm.
that people do versus, in a studio or whatever. So our professor would give us a list of things that we would have to go and chase to
Right.
photograph.
Right.
Um, so that was fun. We got to get passes to go shoot Humber games and we
Hmm.
got to take sports photography and even like, okay, I mean, if you if you got like an accident or something and you would get bonus marks. So a lot of the kids would like they'd get excited and they would chase like these accidents with their cars and they would find whatever because you got like five extra bonus marks. So
Right.
that was the
Did you do
only course
that?
that was
Did you
me. Did
get
I
the
do it?
five? Yeah. Did you do that?
No, I got lucky. The accident happened right in front of me. So
Oh,
I
you
just
did. Oh,
rolled
you
out.
got the five bonus.
I did. I
Oh.
did. It's bonus marks.
That's actually so cool. Can't believe you got the
No,
five
I'm
bonus.
just kidding. It's a brutal field though. You really
Yeah,
have
it
to like
is. Yeah.
it's so hard. You really have to you have to be cautious, very cautious. And a lot of it uh like I'm sensitive towards I can't just take a picture of like an accident. I didn't take a picture of the accident. I took a picture of the
Yeah,
ambulance that
but you
was
did take picture of like homeless people.
Oh, don't say that. No, no. My theme was to employ that there's poverty and
Right.
everything with the increase in the
Inflation?
in the
Inflation.
inflation rate. So I was telling through pictures that there's a higher increase in poverty in Canada. I thought that it would be a good idea to show that how many homeless people are out here so I can it's an awful experience. I felt
No,
so
I know.
bad after,
No,
but it was such a good message because
oh,
the
yeah, it
what he
is.
wrote on the sign and everything. I
Right.
cropped his face out, obviously,
Hmm.
but the sign, I wanted to get the sign because
Yeah, yeah. No, no,
he's
no. I think right now with inflation rate, Lulu, like
Mhm.
there's like the very, very, very rich and very, very poor, unfortunately. There's no in between anymore.
And it sucks for us because, we're just starting, like a lot of us are graduating this year and then
Yeah.
we're trying to get a full-time job. But with that full-time job, like we think we're making good money, but then you want to buy a house and
No,
it
you can't
takes
buy
like
a house
5 years,
anymore.
10 years.
Yeah, you really can't buy a house anymore. You have to like mortgage it. And yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it's
tough.
unfortunate.
It's tough.
Sucks.
It's tough. So photojournalism was your favorite course.
Yeah. Well, compared to it was the only course that forced me out of my house. The
Right.
other ones, like, they were nice, they were fun, but
Hmm.
this was the least frustrating. Like, I could just go out, use my camera, take a picture, and then come back.
No, no, same here. Like
Mhm.
it was a good course. I think our professor though had high expectations of us. I think he thought we were photojournalists, like professional ones before coming into the course.
I think people got the wrong concept of him. I
Right.
think he was very dedicated
No,
with
he was.
his
Yeah.
field because he's done that for so many years, but he'd
Yeah.
actually travel and go
Yeah.
shoot
Yeah.
wars and
Mhm.
everything. Um, I think people got the wrong idea because he was really passionate and he wanted people to know his passion about photojournalism. And because it was an elective, technically you have a choice, you don't have to take it. So he naturally assumed that everybody was very interested in photojournalism when
Yeah.
realistically it was the
But
easiest elective.
but Lulu, remember it wasn't restricted of elective for us. We had to take it. It was either that or XR.
Oh yeah, and I cannot do XR.
Yeah.
I get sick with
Oh,
the
you get motion
with the
sickness.
goggles. I was like, I'm not doing
You get
that.
motion sickness, like if you wear them?
Yeah.
Oh, I see. I see. No, because in Guelph-Humber, like I think not only in our program but in general, in the programs at Guelph-Humber, we have restricted electives. So like we get like three options and we have to pick one and it's mandatory. So we got like XRNO was one, photojournalism was one, and then we had like a mass, communication research methods course. That was the other one. But we chose photojournalism because we thought it was like the interesting one. Yeah.
It was interesting on
Yeah.
paper. Like it was pretty cool. And like
Yeah.
most of the assignments were it was decent. It was fun.
Yeah, for sure it was, for
Except
sure.
yeah, I feel like you just have to really explain before you do the assignment. Like he had to really explain to everyone. So I would ask a lot of questions through email because I didn't understand it during class and be like, I don't know
Yeah.
what picture I need to take. And that's the hard part is you can't write about it. You literally have to have a picture that's worth 1,000 words. Like it
No,
needs
yeah.
to speak
Yeah.
for itself. So that's the hard part.
No,
It's easy to take a picture, but it's hard to find a good picture to take.
exactly. It's a very tough discipline. Like I didn't know photojournalism, anything about it before coming into the course, and I think I learned like how tough it is to honestly find a picture worth 1,000 words and,
Hmm.
really investigate where to shoot, how to shoot it, where to frame it, how the lighting's gonna affect it. There's just so much involved in it. But moving on from photojournalism, as a visual communication student, what type of aspect of the discipline do you like the best? Videography, photography, graphic design, or do you like all aspects of it?
I love all aspects of it, but I definitely love videography the most.
Right.
I think because I'm such an organized person, but okay, videography doesn't just mean you hold the camera and record. There's a lot of pre-production involved.
Yeah,
So
a
a lot of
lot.
paperwork, a lot of documents, a lot of things that need to be signed because you have to ask for approval, you have to do all these things. I like that part. I like making the paperworks. I like doing the documents. I like organizing. I like taking everyone's schedules and putting it into one call sheet. I
Yeah,
love that part, and
yeah,
that's what I like about videography.
yeah. That's great. Like, which kind of project in videography have you done that really stood out to you besides the PSA that we did?
I think the coolest one was I just got what you said. But was when we did television broadcast. I think it was called like a
Hmm.
broadcasting class where we were in the green screen room
Hmm.
and you're in a group of 10 to 11 kids, depending on how many kids are in the specialization that year.
Right.
But that group all gets the same mark. So you have to work
Oh,
as a team. Yeah. You have
oh,
to work
okay.
as a team. One person's on audio, one person's on graphics, person,
Wow.
one person's on the switcher,
Hmm.
one person is on, no, three people on cameras, two people are talents. which they have to fully memorize their scripts and everything.
Wow.
Um, yeah, so there's multiple different roles and you have to work with everybody. Like you need each other.
Hmm.
So I think that was the most interesting, that was the most interesting course.
Right.
You had to kind of like
This
learn how to
big,
work
it's
with
like
each
this
other.
big production group project that you all had to come together and figure it out because the mark's going to be applied to all of you. So that was a
Yeah,
tough one.
yeah. So it was stressful, but it was so fun.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, it would probably be a lot of fun.
And it was such like a real life setting because it looked so real. The green screen and everything, and then the
Mhm.
table sets. We had a whole set design for our production, and it was so cool.
That's really cool. Like I just thought of a question actually. Um, do you feel like Guelph-Humber gives you that, those projects, like you said, to help better your portfolio before your internship or even like after graduation?
I think they do enough for
Hmm.
someone to build like a starting portfolio,
Right.
but I think it really depends on the student. Like you have to take advantage of the stuff we have access to while we're in school, such
Exactly.
as
Yeah.
the media, yeah, like the media cage, you can rent out cameras, video cameras, even podcast equipment.
Hmm.
Um, while you're in school, take advantage of everything because that's how you build your portfolio. You have to keep practicing and keep putting so many things on your portfolio so people can see that you have other talents, you have other things that you're special at. And yeah, I think they like there's enough assignments, but if I only used my assignments that I used at Guelph-Humber, I would only have like 5 to 10 things on my portfolio.
Right.
But because I went out and I did my own stuff and like everything, so that built my portfolio.
Yeah. No, I think it gives you a good, um kind of like platform to get started. But I think you have
Mhm.
to get out of your own comfort zone and do things by yourself, right? Like rent
Yeah,
out
for
like
sure.
equipment for yourself or go into a podcast. Like I'm doing like a game show next month at Guelph Humber. So I'm going to utilize that equipment because Michael Brown, our
Mhm.
professor for public practice, I interviewed him and he said like utilize them because after university, these equipments are going to be very expensive for you to like rent out or get. It's gonna be tough.
Yeah, for sure.
Hmm.
It really is expensive. Like for our photo shoots, we would be using $30,000 worth of equipment
Yeah,
alone. And
it's expensive.
that's crazy.
It's expensive. It's like state of the art. Like people in like Hollywood, like TV studios use that equipment. Yeah. So
And we're just fortunate that it's such a small school and they don't have to buy multiple. So
yeah,
we just use the best equipment
yeah.
and only a few, only a few get to use it.
I think University of Guelph-Humber has like the best equipment. I think in the media program. I think like U of T doesn't have a lot. I asked my friend like who's in Ryerson like TMU University. He said I talked to him about the equipment we have, and he said like we don't have that many because it's such a big school. So like
Yeah.
there's a lot of people that want to use that equipment but can't because well there's only so many cameras to go around everyone, right? So
It's unfortunate. Yeah.
yeah, it is unfortunate. But Lulu, last question and we'll wrap things up. Any advice or comments you would like to give anyone who's watching or considering to pursue a media and communication study degree?
I think the one thing that I would really advise towards anybody like that are starting or wants to get started into it, take your time. Like do not rush any projects. Do not get overwhelmed with it because it is a lot to take in, especially in VC, visual communications. When you're given a video camera with like a million buttons, you're gonna look at it and be like, okay, what the hell am I supposed to do now? Take your time, learn it, give it like a few times of practice, whatever. You're not going to get it the first time. In a
Hmm.
few times, you'll become a pro at it, and it'll be something that your mind will remember that you didn't think you could. But that's my biggest advice is you have to take your time so you don't get overwhelmed with all the stuff that you're using.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think, coming into media program, you're getting get like bombarded with a lot of equipment that you don't know how to like work with. But I think over time, like you said, just put in the practice and you'll get it eventually.
And it also helps because in this field, you're timed always, like you're always going to be on a schedule
Right.
and everything. So once you continue practicing and do all your work, it'll be fast. It'll be easy.
Yeah,
You can do a photo shoot in an hour or
for
less.
sure.
You can get things done after that.
Oh
It
yeah.
just takes practice. It's a field of practice. You're never going to get good at it without practice.
Mhm. Yeah, for sure. And anything, I think you need to put in the practice and the reps to get better at it. Learn from
Oh
it.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Well, Lulu,
And
thank you.
constantly teach yourself. Yeah.
Yeah. Constantly teach yourself. Right. Well, Lulu, thanks so much for doing this. Lulu Dagher, everyone. You can follow her on her Instagram, lulu.dagger. Yeah, thanks so much for doing this, Lulu.
Thank you. It was a good interview. Thank you.